Welcome back to Project Mayhem. Today we're working on a 2019 SSR pit bike. We're going to be looking at the valves on it. Make sure they're still in spec, because I haven't done that since it left the factory. So yeah, stay tuned. So in order to check the valves, you need to get a 17, and it's on the top for the intake, and right there for the exhaust. In order to check the valves also, you're going to need a set of feeler gauges. The intake is 3 thousandths, the exhaust is 4 thousandths. Sorry it's blurry, but you can kind of see it. So once you get this cracked loose, you just start going to town and taking it off. And there it is. Give me 1 sec. Doesn't look too bad though. Figured I'd grab the light so y'all can see at least. And that right there is your valve. You send it in between that little crack right there. I'll show you again here in a second, but I'm going to explain it. You throw it in that crack and you adjust the nut on the top. Super simple. But in order to check the valve properly, you need to take this cover off, which is a couple eighths around the outside. So there's 3 bolts once you get them cracked loose. So this is how I oriented them, because this one was over on the bottom right there, and then this one was over here underneath the shifter. You can see that. And then that one was up top. And there's no gasket holding this one on. It's just, press fit on there, I guess. I don't know. Barely holds on. But yeah, check your motor, make sure it looks good. And maybe some brake clean. Clean off the chain and then fucking re-lube it. That's what I like to do at least. But with this off, you now spin it over, and once it gets there to the compression stroke, come up here, and there should be a line in the case somewhere. Oh, right there. See that little lip? I don't know if the camera's picking that up or not. There's a slight lip ridge right there. I don't know if y'all can see that, but it's there. And that right there is what you go with. Right there. And you line up the T. And the best way to do this is stick a ratchet on this and hold it onto the foot peg right here, so it doesn't move, because it's going to want to move. Stay tuned for that. So once you line that up, you go up here and you take your feeler gauge right here and you see if it fits. So after looking at this very carefully, I had to bend this a little bit because I don't have the right feeler gauges. But this is a little bit tight, so I need to go get a square and a 10, I believe. So in case y'all were wondering, it's a 9. Sorry, that's upside down. It's a 9. Yeah. So if y'all don't have the right tools, I used a 9 and those pliers on the ground actually. But yeah, that's what you want, it to be a little tight but still be able to drag it through, and that's how you check the valve. So this is what I did. We'll try to do this. I used this open end on the nut right there. So it was like this. And I used my other hand to hold the pliers on where I wanted it after I was on this other side using the feeler gauges to go back and forth and feel what this felt like. And tightened everything up. So now we're working on to the exhaust, which looks like it's full of oil. That's good, I guess. Yeah. And that right there is what we're going to do for this one as well, but with 4,000ths instead of 3,000. And just to show y'all that I did it, it barely moves through there. So that's good. Now we take that out. Bend it back, because yeah. And then after that, throw this on. We'll go start it. But just so you guys know, I haven't tested this valves and whatnot, or these valves, and they were all tight. So I would recommend checking it before, 10 hours, over 10 hours on the bike. And for those of you that was curious about what this oil is right here, I am too, so we'll dump it out. Honestly, it looks like just some old motor oil. Doesn't look gritty or shiny. Sweet. No metal flakes. That's what we like to see. Now, clean that up, throw it back in, and see if she fires. And then, once you get these all hand tight, like so, make sure you put that case saver back on. And tighten these a little bit more than hand tight with the 3/8 inch ratchet as well. I don't know what the torque spec is, but it felt like, less than 10 foot-pounds. So be careful, don't strip it. I think these are plastic. And yeah, stay tuned. And don't forget that longer bolt goes on the bottom towards the shifter. And then the shorter one goes on top. And just like that, these are all tightened. Those are all tightened. I did that off camera on both of them. Since I'm working on this pit bike right now, I'm going to take the carb off. It's 2/8 right here and on the other side as well. And then all you do is undo this, untwist it, and this carb pops off. After you undo the gas line as well, right here, going up to the fuel filter. So this has to come off, these two bolts, and this top cap right here. And just like that, we got it out. And if you look in here, see that little pin? One second, it's hard to do this with one hand. See that pin? There's a pin there and a pin over here. That will help line up when it comes to that assembly right there later. See how there's a small one? There's another one that goes all the way through. And the one that goes all the way through goes on this far side because it's up higher than the one that's over here. Remember that. And just because, here's a little sneak peek of the valve covers for the 3.4 that I'm doing. Red. Got the red rear main as well. It's coming along, slowly but surely, but we're working on the bike today. Gonna rebuild this carb because, probably just clean it actually, just clean it. I don't want to put new jets in it. It runs like a champ. So when it comes to these carbs, you're gonna want to take this all the way out, but count how many times it goes all the way around, like half turns. Like, see how there's a line in it this way? For a flathead, take that and do like half turns with that. Same with this over here. You want to always line them up back to the same spot. But because I was an idiot, I took that off while I was riding last time. And long story short, there's some dirt and water or something in here. Makes it to where this doesn't want to run properly. So we're gonna clean this. You take off these Phillips on the bottom, and yeah, so you take off the bowl. I'll show you that here in a minute. So I took off the bowl, and if you look closely, you can see the grit in there. That's why I'm cleaning it. There's that, and then there's your two jets. Not yet. We're gonna pop these out and make sure the float still works good and just check everything out. Stay tuned. So I don't know if y'all can see it, but there's holes. There's 4 sets of holes on this jet. They are clogged. I can't see through them. Along with this one has a slight clog. Well, that's whitewash as hell. You can't really see it. There's a slight hole. Oh wait, this one has the hole, the other one doesn't. Because that one goes in it right there, that smaller one goes into the top of this. But in order to get this clean, I'm going to send some brake clean through all these little tiny holes on it. Clean it out. And clean out that small jet as well, because that was clogged. So in the process of cleaning the carb and whatnot and putting it back on, I noticed that this nut was a little loose. So I went and tightened it. I wonder why it doesn't start, Kenneth. Always make sure your chassis ground is, tight. I'm going to throw the carb back on. Same thing. You take that gas inlet, you stick it on here. You take that threaded needle, and remember about the slots. And then it's just 2/8 there. That thread into the carb. So now that we have everything hooked up, we got the gas line hooked back up. We got the 2 8mm on both sides. Got the throttle tube inlet to the carb. And now we're ready to go start it. And just like that, it's a little cold, but she runs. Let's see if we can get it in one kick. Just like that, no gas. And just like that, she's up and running.